New Mexico is a land of stories, myths, and legends. The unexplained and the unexplored. I'm Chad Brummett, and we are exploring the unique and unusual world of New Mexico Strange. Hello, and thank you for joining us for this edition of New Mexico Strange. I'm Chad Brummett, and I'm always excited to do this show, but I'm very, very excited because we have the great opportunity to grab the one and only Jordan Jonas for a quick interview. Now, if you guys don't know this guy, you need to get out for the few times that he is back here in New Mexico. I have been fortunate to see a number of your magic shows. We have gone ghost hunting together.
We've done it all together.
We have done it all together. We haven't done a Titanic moment together.
No,
don't know that that's in the cards. Sorry to say.
It is.
But you are now in Chicago.
I am, yes.
First of all, tell us how things are going in Chicago.
Things are going great in Chicago. We survived the winter, and I think that's how we knew we were going to get through.
Right.
And we're like, if we're going to stay here, we got to get through the winter.
Yeah.
So we did it, and so I think we're going to be out there for a little bit longer.
That's smart. That's like the people, if they're thinking of moving to Phoenix, you got to go, and can you survive the summer in Phoenix, survive the Chicagos in winter?
Yeah.
Before you headed out to Chicago, for those that may not know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I am a practitioner of the dark arts is the best way for me to put it and still be on brand.
Okay.
But that's just fancy terms for magician, and then I also dabble in mind reading. I just had a stroke. Keep your seats. I'm gonna be okay.
You got a show coming up.
Yeah.
We can't do that yet.
I do some mind reading stuff and other kind of very metaphysical things, and then also ghost tour guide. Not currently, but have done ghost tours and seances and things in the past.
Yeah, which we've been able to throughout the years here at KRQE. We've been able to see a lot of this stuff and doing a ghost tour. I think I did the downtown ghost tour with you several years back. What first got you into the sort of the world of the macabre?
I've tried to think about this and bring it down to pinpoint one moment, but I have always really been into it. Mm-hmm. I remember checking out books in elementary school about, cryptids and UFOs and ghosts and watching like all the old Travel Channel shows America's Scariest Places and stuff. And so that was kind of the catalyst. And then, I started listening to Ozzy Osbourne and, the Black Sabbath and the themes of the occult and everything. Yeah. And that really kind of sent me down that path. And that's why I ended up kind of choosing the look that I did and the character and the persona. And then, of course, Alice Cooper later on. And but then I started researching, actual witchcraft and occult topics.
Okay.
And to get more of a grasp on them, because of course the way that everyone talks about it, it's all scary. Mm-hmm. And it's not really scary if you do the research and you look into it and you kind of realize that it's not like demonic, it's not all this stuff that people make it out to be. And I think that's what made it fascinating to me, and that's what always drew me to it, is that it had such a negative stigma, but it's really fascinating when you dig deeper into it.
Mm-hmm. So you wanted to kind of get behind that, the reason
and understand it more.
Okay. So that obviously, I think, probably led you into what so many people, if they don't know you for your magic and your shows, they probably know you for ghost hunting and ghost tours. Tell us a little bit about the ghost tours that you led while you were still here in Albuquerque.
Well, I had the privilege of starting them because one of my other dear friends and mentors of mine, his name is Blake, and he originally started the Albuquerque Ghost Walk.
Okay.
And he did the research and put that tour together, and then he asked me graciously if I wanted to kind of shadow him, and we would just start off, I would do a story at this spot, he would we would trade off, and then he decided he didn't really have interest in doing it anymore, and so then I took it over after him, and was doing them over 10 years here in
Really?
Albuquerque, downtown, Old Town, Sawmill District, and everywhere in between.
Yeah. Of all of those tours, and I think the only one that I have not done is the Sawmill tour. I've done the ghost tour in Old Town. It was short-lived.
It was short-lived.
Okay, so I don't feel so bad.
Okay. There wasn't a lot to talk about. I felt it wasn't as interesting as it could have been.
Okay.
But I really tried to find a lot of source material and things. Of course, the Sawmill area, violent place.
Yeah.
Sawmill workers getting crushed and smashed, but that was pretty much the extent of the scary stuff.
Gotcha.
So there wasn't really a lot to work with.
Now, was part of that with the Painted Lady Bed and Brew? Was that one of the stops on that Sawmill
we
tour?
didn't go. It was still a little bit too far out of the way, but we still did. I talked about it.
Gotcha.
Still.
Okay. We're going to come back to the Painted Lady in a little bit
Yes.
because when we did our investigation in 2021, you actually had a physiological reaction.
One of the scariest things to
so
happen.
we're going to come back to that in a minute, but I first want to, Sawmill, as you said, wasn't a lot. So between downtown and Old Town, what do you think is the more haunted spot, or what are some of the creepier things that you found during those two?
So I did the downtown tour for, I think, 6 or 7 years. And then in 2023, we moved to Old Town.
Okay.
And out of the 6 years that we were doing it in downtown, I did one tour in Old Town, and it just felt different.
Really?
It was just palpable. Like you can really feel it, and it's like New Orleans.
Really?
In Old Town, there's some creepy places downtown, but to me, there's just an aura about Old Town, and it looms in the air, and it's just spookier, and you can feel all that history down there and everything that took place down there. So for me, I really liked Old Town a little bit more.
Really?
I thought there was more stuff going on down there, and we had more sightings. We had more people experience things on that tour than we did when we did the downtown tour.
What were some of the experiences and sightings that people would experience in Old Town?
It was a lot of emotional responses. We did have people. There was one night where someone did actually see with their own eyes a full body spirit at one of the spots walking. And we had people take all kinds of different photographs. One of my favorite pictures ever in Old Town was taken on our tour. But it was a lot of emotional responses. And yeah, people, crying, men and women, and
No kidding.
And just getting physically shaken up and out of breath and lightheaded. And that's what kind of made it scary some nights, is because it was happening so often.
Right.
It was like every other weekend where somebody would either like have a panic attack, or they would start hyperventilating, or they would get really, really sick. And so I had to, look out at the group and make sure like no one's just going to, drop or
then it becomes scary for a whole other reason.
Yeah, you're right. So
were there particular areas that seemed to trigger more of these reactions, like different stops, or was it?
Not really.
Okay.
That was one of the more frequently asked questions that I would get, is if a full moon made any difference on the tours, or like if there were more sightings at one spot than others. And it would just bounce around. It was very sporadic, and one location would be really, really active that one weekend, and then the next weekend it would just be, static. Yeah. And then it would change to another location. And then I would have experiences of, we would get emails and text messages that things would go home with people.
No kidding.
And, I was, because I take all this very seriously. So I know that at the end of the night, I would say, you're not allowed to follow anyone home. You're not allowed to attach yourself to anyone. Goodbye, and just try to banish it. Just so that doesn't happen, because it does happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was also kind of, luckily they weren't getting punched or beaten, or
That's
it wasn't
good.
anything malicious, but they would, start hearing things and experiencing things in their homes that maybe they weren't experiencing before they took the tour. And some people thanked me for it, and some people were not so gracious.
Not so gracious. That sounds like a whole other episode right there. There is one, and I don't know if this is the photo that you were referring to, but you shared a photo with myself and our colleague Tommy Garcia a couple of years ago that someone had taken, and it's a photo that until you punched in and showed us, you know, at first glance, you're just like, well, it's a photo of Old Town.
It's great.
But when you punch in, there was something there that, at least for, I can't explain what it is.
That was taken at the Salvador Armijo house, which was Casa Asencia, right in front of the Hotel Albuquerque.
Okay.
And yeah, it was taken down the corridor. This was on a night they were not having an event. There wasn't a wedding or anything going on there. And it was taken down the main corridor. Gate was locked. And yeah, that's my favorite thing about that picture is that you don't see anything. And then that's what makes it so eerie is you start to zoom in, and then there's this female, this young girl that's standing there in a white dress or a white nightgown, and you can see that she's kind of like doing one of these things, looking over her shoulder, and you can see that her dress, how it flows and everything, and it was like even talking about it, it's still...
Yeah. Now, was this something that did the guest, did they realize in the moment, or was this, because it seems oftentimes it's when you go back and you're looking at these photos and you're looking at the artifacts that you discover it. So no one really kind of had a sense.
They didn't hone in on it. I even remember when they took it and they were all bummed out and they were like, I was like, did you get anything? And they're like, nah, no.
Wow.
And then I told him, I say, well, you know, that doesn't mean necessarily something else might show up later on.
Right.
So check it when you get back to the hotel, when you get there tonight.
Yeah.
And I think 3 days later, they emailed me the picture and they said, holy I curse.
We can bleep it.
Okay, holy and they presented it the same way that I did on the tour. They said, just look at it really close, and then just zoom in to the end of the corridor. Wow. And do you see the girl that's down there at the end of the corridor? And yeah, I'm
getting chills down my spine just thinking about that shot.
I was looking, they sent it to me. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and I was by myself, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah, that's one of my favorite captures.
Wow. And
I don't think we ever got one that came close to that one.
Really? Yeah. I mean, it really is striking. It's a striking photo. Let's jump back over to the Sawmill District and the Painted Lady Bed and Brew. So in 2021, you, myself, Tommy Garcia, we went in.
Was it that long ago?
It was 2021. Oh yes. I thought it was actually 2020, and we had Jesse Heron in for one of these discussions, and he said that it was 2021 because in 2020, Zach Bagans and crew were there with Ghost Adventures doing their investigation. We were going through looking at a variety of different things, and we were in one of the guest rooms, right, filming, doing an investigation, asking questions, and then something happened to you.
Something did happen. That's putting it lightly.
Mildly.
Yeah, mildly.
Very mildly. That was one of those moments that were like, this turned scary for a whole other reason, because we thought there was a medical episode going on.
Right, and I did too. Yeah, I thought it was because I'm type 1 diabetic, so I thought I was having like a low blood sugar fit, because that's normally how it feels when it gets really, really low. And yeah, we were investigating the Lottie suite, and Samantha, the medium, was with us, and she was doing her thing and showing us the chalk incantations above the doors and everything. And yeah, I just got like just hit with this energy. I'm just like burning up all of a sudden.
You okay?
You want some water?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was just like a best way to describe it is a stabbing pain.
My gosh. gosh.
And then that would get backed up by when you watch the episode and we're asking the questions of who are you, where did you die? And this was the room where there's a blood stain that's soaked into the floor and somebody got stabbed. And so Samantha was picking up that somebody got stabbed, and then our ghost or spirit box, that gruff voice comes through that says stabbed.
Because I think he got stabbed here, fell, got up. Calling the fire.
It said stab. It said stab.
Calling the fire.
And then I got that feeling in my stomach, and then I just started shaking. And if you watch the episode, I was noticing there's this huge, also this red welt that appears on my forehead.
I didn't notice that
And
before.
you can I'm pale, but you can see
Doesn't
that
take
I'm
much.
Yeah, but I was totally out of it, and you can just see that I'm just looking off, and I'm checked out, and yeah, it got to that point of almost hyperventilation, and like you said, medical needed to do something.
Right.
We had to go outside, and the second that I crossed that threshold and stepped outside, it just.
Okay.
A little better. Wow. Yeah, because I immediately just at first it felt like flush, and then it just started throbbing. Don't take that out of context. And then I just got really, really sweaty and really hot, and then I couldn't form words. And just completely disassociation.
It lifted.
I sat down with my water, but that stabbing pain, all of that, just that bad feeling just lifted immediately.
Wow. Is that because I know that we also did a previous investigation into the Church Street Cafe where there was also some sort of physiological reaction happening to you, and it wasn't as dire,
Right?
But it was
just more of
definitely
a fun
right.
thing. Yeah.
Is that on all the ghost tours and things that you have done? Is that the worst thing that has happened, or the most prominent?
Physically, because
Yeah.
I've never been physically attacked before.
Okay.
From doing seances and being very well in tune with all of this, like I was saying, I know how to close out. I know how to say goodbye to them. I know how to make them not follow me. But yeah, I've never been physically had that kind of an experience before. I've been touched, I've seen things, but yeah, on that level, that was completely something that I would never want to happen again. And it luckily hasn't.
Yeah, seriously, get some knocks in here. And we have heard previous stories. I mean, Jesse has shared a number of the stories about the Painted Lady, and it has a very violent past. So,
See, and I continue to go back there.
That's
And now
right.
I have a show there tonight, and
That's
I'm just
right.
opening myself back up to it again.
Yeah, that's
hopefully, we're good now.
Are you going to stay out of that room?
Well, maybe. We'll see. I'm a glutton for
I would say maybe not stay out of that one.
We'll see.
I don't know.
That's just your advice.
You do you, boo.
Okay.
You work you work what works best for you. So in Chicago now, I know that you are performing shows, magic, mentalism. Do you have plans? Because I would imagine Chicago probably maybe have a ghost or two.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have plans to maybe explore that world in Chicago with ghost hunting and ghost tours?
Yeah, I just submitted for a tour company out there, and they got back to me. So hopefully, now that things are starting to warm up, out there, I'll start doing investigations and ghost things out there too. Because you have all that mob history and everything, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, just take your pick. I mean, we've got Billy the Kid and, all of that here. We got the Old West.
Right.
You've got a completely different set of stories and
same but
violent
different.
background. Same but different. That's a great way to put it. I would obviously, anytime that you're here, Jordan, it's always a thing of, okay, we got to have a magic trick.
Something.
We gotta have it. And I feel bad calling them magic tricks. Do magicians, you say, hey, do a magic trick. Do magicians take offense to that? Or is there a better way to say?
I don't personally.
Okay.
But because for me and my character, I'm trying to provide an experience. So I don't the reason why I've never liked the word trick is because a trick is like a puzzle. So you're presenting the audience with a puzzle that they need to solve. And that's not what magic should be. You should feel like what you're watching is this arcane, actual, like, because I always spelled magic with a K, M-A-G-I-C-K, like real magic. And so that's the way that I look at it.
Okay.
And so I always try, when I'm talking about it, I try to avoid the word trick because I want to engross people in that world and everything. And maybe that sounds pretentious. I don't know.
But it is. I mean, because when we go to see a show like that, that's what we're wanting, right? Like when you go to theater, you have the suspension of disbelief, right? Like we know that the guy standing on stage in Streetcar Named Desire is not really Stanley Kowalski.
Right.
He's an actor, but we are suspending that disbelief.
Exactly.
And so I think that it would carry over in the same kind of work that you do.
Right.
We are suspending any kind of disbelief to fully dive into this experience.
Right. And that's why I like David Blaine so much, because his first special, that
was Street Magic, right?
Street Magic, yeah, back in the 90s. And his character was he was eerie. Like, and
he still is.
He is still. He's gotten happier now. Recent interviews, he's kind of dropped that character.
Happier.
Yeah, he's not as quaaluded.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
But that's what sold the magic that he was doing. And for me and so many millions of other people, they thought he was a shaman and he was doing, real magic because of that character.
Yeah.
And he would just walk up to you. Can I show you something?
Yeah, and typically,
then just walk away.
And typically, if someone does that, you want to kind of shift gears unless it's David Blaine or something like that. I remember that that show I must have watched it 1,000 times. It was phenomenal because it was just so close. You're seeing this and you're like, this is impossible. How is this happening? So with all that said, what do you have for us? Do you have something for us today?
We can try.
Okay.
We can try
Let's
something
try
if
something.
you want to.
Let's try a thing. How about that? Let's try a thing.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's see. Okay, Chad. I'm going to hand you the deck, so it's out of my hands.
Okay.
I want you to go ahead and just think of a card.
It's any card.
Any card you want to. Not the Ace of Spades. That's too obvious. Most people are going to see. He thought of it.
Fernando, bad boy. Okay, I think I've got one.
You have it?
I
and
think
you can change it as many times as you want to. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with it.
Good?
Yeah.
Pick up the deck, and I want you to spread through it so you can see all the faces.
Okay.
And I want you to find the card that you're thinking of, and when you find it, just stop at it. Don't take it out.
Okay.
Just stop at it and let me know when you found it.
I found it.
Okay. So imagine my hands are the deck, okay?
Okay.
Take all of the cards that are in front of your card and cut them to the back so your card is now on the face staring right at you.
Okay.
And just take a few extra moments to really burn the image of that card into your brain.
Okay.
Camera 2 for me, Chad.
And then take it off of the face and bury it somewhere in the middle. That way I don't know where it is or what it is.
Bury it somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, so wherever you want it. It doesn't have to be directly in the middle, but just somewhere where it's hidden.
Okay.
Good?
I think it's in. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have you take the rest of the deck and place it back inside of the case for me.
Okay.
Okay. So, would you be impressed if I were to spread through those cards right now, pull out the card that you were thinking of and hand it to you? Would that be impressive?
Very.
Fernando, would that be impressive to you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
How about I don't even touch the cards?
Even more impressive.
Just think of it. Two of diamonds.
Just think What? How? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
I could. The blood is starting to pool.
Oh my gosh. That is absolutely amazing. I don't even want to know how you do it. That is just one of so many different things that you have done. Jordan, if obviously, you're on loan to Chicago, or maybe you're now on loan to New Mexico. Yeah. Coming back, because I know that you have a lot of shows that you come back for. But I think folks should really be keeping up with what you were doing now in Chicago, because I got a feeling that New Mexico Strange is just one, like, this is going to be like, we've got national specials in front of us with you, and we have got I can only imagine what the future holds. What is the best way to follow you online, learn more about you? Do you post when you're coming back to New Mexico with shows?
Yeah, I constantly, anytime I have any show anywhere coming up, I post about it. Primarily on my Instagram, which is Jordan Jonas 13. My Facebook is also Jordan Jonas 13, but also my website, jordan-jonas.com. Had to put the dash in there because there's another Jordan Jonas out there.
We don't like him.
He's a hunter, and
Oh.
he must be hunted.
Okay,
I need to own that URL.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Well, do one of the mentalism things. They're like a Jedi mind trick.
I'll try to
Just give me the
astral
domain.
project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scare him.
Right.
Even better.
Right.
You must give this over. He could think you're like the ghost of Halloween past,
Right.
or
Oh,
present,
that'd be good.
or future.
Some future, yeah.
Anything. Jordan, it is always a pleasure hanging out with you. It's always a pleasure talking ghosts, seeing the work that you do. And I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for the next round to hang out and watch your mentalism. I'm still I cannot figure it out. There was no planning on this. I pulled that because who thinks a two of diamonds?
Right, and you changed it.
I jumped back and
Yeah.
forth, and then I was like, no, two of diamonds is good.
Okay, so you did, yeah.
I can't. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jordan Jonas.
Thank you for having
Round of
me.
applause for him. You always have a home with us here at KRQE. Thank you for coming in, and best of luck with everything in the Windy City.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chad.
Absolutely. Folks, if you want a full recap of this, we're going to post links to Jordan's Instagram and ways to follow him online. But if you are watching on our app, thank you for downloading the app. If you're not watching on our app, make sure you download the KRQE Now app. We are on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, all the great things. You can also catch everything on KRQE.com. Until next time, I'm still just trying to wrap my brain around it. Two of diamonds.
Just take some ibuprofen. You'll be fine.
That's exactly it. Until next time, I'm taking some ibuprofen. We'll see you on the next episode of New Mexico Strange.